Hey everybody, welcome back to Quires and Cups. I got myself Darkside 0895 coming in with Affordable Dreams and Mike Noddy to do some draft coverage here. A couple seconds behind, we've already missed the first two picks, so we're going to start off. Yeah, so looking at I'm Lazy first, I believe changing his name from I'm Lazy QC recently, but last season spanning it with the Everett Silvertips, going 6-1-1 with 26 points, 14 goals, and a plus 14, starting up a bit late, but 64.2% on the faceoffs, really solid. And in the playoffs, posting an even better record and even better point stats, going 6-0-1 with 28 points. So really, really impressive stat line for this guy. Obviously a solid showing and a big reason why he got picked number one. Yeah, another really solid player. I played the guy in club and just in general, and a very, very difficult player to play against. Yeah, for sure. I don't think anyone's too surprised to see these guys go number one and number two in the draft. Loops 88. Yeah, a really solid player. I'm a little surprised to see him go third, to be honest. Um, I was expecting a little bit lower, like maybe just outside the top 10. But I mean, good on him. He did have a really good season, going 17-6-1 with 81 points, 32 goals, 49 assists with a plus 33, 15 penalty minutes, 50.9 on the faceoffs, and 36% shooting percentage during the regular season. 2-2 in his playoff appearances, 4 goals, 4 assists for 8 points with a -1. Only 2 PIMs, 50% on the faceoffs, and 33.3 shooting percentage while he played there. Yeah, we have I believe our first defenseman off the board here. And to go through his stats a little bit here, 20-4 for Saginaw last season with 37 points as a D-man, 4 goals, 33 assists with a plus 41, only 10 penalty minutes, 100% in the faceoffs. I'm just kidding, he's a defenseman. 4-2-1 in the playoffs there with 5 points, -1, and 4 PIMs. So really solid showing for him and taking the Spirit, I believe, to the OHL finals there.
Enigma, and sixth overall for the Carolina Hurricanes is Paradis 117, and number seventh for the Carolina Hurricanes is N Skills 99.
All right, well, let's start with Enraged Enigma. We got the teams flying to make these top 10 picks here. He has no stats.
Yeah, there's nothing really to talk about there.
Nope.
Let's move on to Paradis. Mike, what do you have for us for Paradis?
Paradis. Yeah, with the Elverts, he was with the Elverts at Silvertips. He went 16-5-3, 36 points, 2 goals, 34 assists, plus 27 as a defenseman. He had a takeaway giveaway of -110. His playoffs was much better with 6-1 record, 14 points with 14 apples, plus 11. Only 2 minutes of penalties in the playoffs. This guy was on my WHL prospect team.
Yep.
Solid defenseman, really, really good player.
Yeah, for sure. And no surprise to see him go in the top 10 there. And rounding out the more recent picks, we got N_. skills 99. Going 18-7-1 this season, playing for the Moose Jaw Warriors. Going 16-6-1 in regular season play with 76 points, 34 goals, 42 assists, a plus 31, 28 PIMs, 50% on the faceoffs as a right winger. And really solid showing with a 34% shooting percentage. And in the playoffs, 2-1 with 7 points, 2 goals, 5 assists, a +1, 0 penalty minutes. So again, another really strong looking player there.
Coming in 8th overall is Jago for the Ducks as well.
Yeah, and no one's surprised by this. Personally had to play him and Arctic Blur in that second round. Both really, really tough players. In regular season play, he had 49 points with 10-2 record in 12 games, 18 goals, 31 assists, a +26, only 8 PIMs, and 52.2 on the faceoffs when he did have to fill in for his center. And in the playoffs, going 2-2 with 10 points, 3 goals, 7 assists, +12. Just really, really impressive stat line there. Good season on him. A good
Definitely.
pick.
9th overall coming in for the Ducks as well is CMS 9030. And 10th overall for the Canadiens is Q Nebulous.
Yeah, so rounding out the top 10 there, and the Montreal Canadiens getting their 2 picks out of the way, similar to how the Ducks and Carolina did as well. CMS here playing last season as his first season, going 8-0, for the Huskies, going 7-1-1 with 27 points, 14 goals, 13 assists, and a +13, 8 penalty minutes, and 55.4 on the faceoffs, and 27.5 on the shooting percentage. And in the playoffs, putting up a similarly dominant record, 8-0-2 with 30 points, 16 goals, 14 assists, a +4, 2 PIMs, and 53.6 on the faceoffs. Looking at Q Nebulous, who I got a chance to play with during S&P a couple weeks ago, maybe last week, who was 15-7-1, 48 points, 14 goals, 34 assists, 34 penalty minutes, and in the playoffs, 2-1-1 with 11 points, 6 goals, 5 assists, a +2, and 10 PIMs. A little high on the penalty minutes, but this guy is really solid.
Definitely. 2 more picks coming in for the Devils at number 11 is LeagueGaming.com, and 12th overall for Buffalo Sabres is Pimaflave.
Okay. So,
these boys are going really fast.
It usually pops off in the first round pretty quickly, and we start to slow down during second.
Yeah, Legendary only has 4 games played in the CHL, so he doesn't have a whole lot of stats, but
he's obviously known pretty well, yeah. Right? In his TC games, putting up 10 points in his 2 red versus blue games, and in the regular season going 1-1 with 4 points. Not too much to talk about on the stat sheet there, unfortunately, but obviously known amongst the community in the NHL, or just did very well in scouting. So congrats to him. Hopefully he's a really solid pick for them.
Definitely. What even Pimaflave?
So Pimaflave going 11-7-4 with 19 points and a +8 with 22 penalty minutes, and 5-2 in the playoffs with 3 points and a +6. A pretty solid showing. Maybe not as impressive as some of the D-men we've seen go a little bit higher than him, but he has been highly touted coming into this season.
Definitely. 13th overall for the Rangers is Twisty 72.
Another defenseman. His regular season was 10-1-1. He had 16 points in those 12 games, 1 goal, 15 apples, 23 +23. Only 6 penalty minutes in 12 games, so that's pretty decent. Mm-hmm. His playoff record was 4-2, 8 points with 8 apples, and he was a +5.
Yeah, so really strong showing, and another big reason why the Spirit were able to go all the way to the OHL finals against those pesky Otters.
Definitely.
And another pick coming in here, not surprising in the least.
Jamie Ben 14. Yeah. Jamie 14, Ben 14 coming in at 14th.
Yeah, playing with the Niagara Ice Dogs this season and winning the Calder Cup. As in the regular season, he went 17-3-2 with 20 points and a +31, 21 penalty minutes. And in the playoffs, 7-1, 8 points, +3, 11 PIMs. Really, really good rookie season. And obviously, nice to hoist that cup before you get drafted.
Definitely. That whole team had a stellar year, so it's no surprise to see guys going where they're going right now.
Yeah, for sure.
We haven't really talked about the 5th pick by the Canucks, that Enraged Enigma. No stats whatsoever. New guy.
Yeah,
coming
yeah,
over
we
from
touched it.
Xbox.
Yeah, we touched it pretty loosely. Was he on the Xbox side?
I'm trying to find it, to be honest with you.
Maybe his account isn't linked tremendously well, but I'm not seeing anything on the.
He could have sat in TC all year and just didn't play, right?
Yeah,
Which is possible.
I think that's the case in this one. I mean, I'm sure maybe our viewers know a little better than we do, but yeah, no, it looks like he signed up late. I think maybe knowing he was going to be a draft pick, right?
Yeah. I feel like I got to pause here with Columbus taking the time thinking about their 15th overall pick.
Yeah, maybe one of their picks or a couple options of picks where it was a little surprised, or it is their first pick of the draft. They could just be asleep behind the wheel.
It's possible. Here we go. It's I tap on first date coming at 15th overall.
And another guy I'm not too surprised to see come out of this draft. Played with the guy, a really solid offensive defenseman. And a lot of defensemen coming in early on here.
Yeah, there has been actually more so than last year, I believe.
Well, with the summer season, it's pretty dry up there on defense.
16th overall coming up with Tampa Bay Lightning is Jaded 67.
Yeah, for sure. And looking a bit at iTap on first date stats here, going 18-5-1 in his games with the Pete's there, 27 points, 2 goals, 25 assists, a plus 21, 22 penalty minutes. And in the playoffs, 2-1 with 6 points, 1 goal, 5 assists, and a plus 7. So best of luck with him in the Columbus Blue Jackets organization this coming season. And like you talked about with the 16th overall pick by the Tampa Bay Lightning, we have Jaded 67 coming in. Do you want to give us a little rundown of his stats there, Mike?
Sure. Yeah. During the regular season, he went 16-6-1 with 19 points. Another defenseman, 2 goals, 17 assists, plus 2, 31 penalty minutes. Playoffs, he was 3-3 with 5 points, 5 apples, a plus 2. So looks like he was on a rough team, but played well.
Definitely. And good for him, and congrats on being drafted. 17th overall coming in for the Edmonton Oilers is the Sens Hockey 25-25.
Yeah, and another guy who actually did play in our prospects. Yeah, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he was with the Lethbridge Hurricanes this season.
I believe so.
Yes, he was, and he ended up playing on Mike's squad and helping them win the tournament, going 6-2 in the regular season with 23 points, 14 goals, 9 assists, and a plus 10 with a 52% face-off percentage. And in so that's the playoff stats. In the regular season, he was 4-0, joining quite late there. 15 points, 6 goals, 9 assists, and a plus 7. So a late addition for the Hurricanes on their deep run and losing out in Game 7 to the Weak Kings in the WHL final, or not WHL finals, it was the WHL semifinals.
Definitely. Coming in 18th overall for the Vegas is Perry Savage 33. Another defender coming out here. Coming out hot.
Yeah, so Perry Savage with the Oceanic went 16-5-2, 19 points, 4 goals, 15 assists, plus 17. In the playoffs, he went 2-1 with 1 apple.
Yeah, really impressive stat line for him, and doing so on a pretty solid team in the Oceanic there.
Coming out 19th overall for the Anaheim Ducks is Ludo Boss 87. No surprise to me.
No, you knew that was coming. A really solid player. Did not like playing against him this season.
No one did.
16-4-3 with 60 points, 27 goals, 33 assists for a plus 32 and 26 PIMs with 55.2 on the faceoffs. And in the playoffs, he was 6-1 with 15 points, 6 goals, 9 assists, and a plus 13, 54.3 in the draws. So obviously a really solid pick, and good luck to him with the Anaheim Ducks organization.
Definitely.
Looking at our comments a little bit, someone asking where Duke Star is on the draft board, and Sin kind of stating what everyone's thinking. Yeah, you usually don't see goalies going in the first round, especially not early in the first.
No, you generally don't see it, but it has been known to happen. And if it is, usually a late first.
Yeah, exactly. There's an
Here we
interesting
go.
one.
Number 20 overall is Barwai Darb.
Yeah, I believe it's his name actually spelled backwards. It's
I believe so.
Brad something. I don't know. But a defenseman this season for the Regina Pats. And a bit of a strange pick because of the way his contracts or his seasons have worked out. He's played 73 games played, so he's actually had a long career, at least in terms of LGCHL, to be a draft pick. But 17 and 7 this season with 24 points, 2 goals, 22 assists, and a plus 21 with 11 penalty minutes. And then in his playoff contention, he went 2 and 2 with 1 point being an assist, a plus 2, and no penalties. So pretty disciplined defenseman coming in here and having some pretty strong stats.
Definitely, that's for sure. Coming in 21st overall for the Anaheim Mighty Ducks is Surgical.
Yeah, and again, no big surprises here.
No big surprise, no.
Yeah, so he went 17-5-2 with 33 points, 2 goals, 31 assists. He was a plus 24. And in the playoffs, he went 2-1 with 5 points, 2 goals, and 3 assists. He was a -1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, and really seems like a decent guy. You'll find him in the shout box pretty commonly, but a very solid defenseman. Very solid.
Yeah, he was tough to play against. We had made games sweaty for sure.
Yeah. Tone coming out here asking why 73 games makes you eligible for the draft. If you finish the season with, say, 47 points in season 9, you're still eligible for season 11 draft.
That's right.
You have to be amateur and then be passed on in a draft.
Starting.
Yeah, so there's some people who sneak through with like those couple games difference, and that's what you're seeing there out of Brad there.
That's right, yeah. 22nd overall for Chicago Blackhawks is Zappa Forever.
Yeah. So Zappa Forever went 18-4-2, 17 points, 2 goals, 15 assists, plus 37. In the playoffs, he went 5-2-1, 5 points with 5 apples. He was a plus 7 with the Elverton Silvertips.
Just
okay.
Everett Silvertip. Okay.
Yeah.
Excuse my Canadian.
23rd overall for Edmonton Oilers is Marceau 13.
Yeah, I'll cover him in 1 second. Here's load up his page. He was 29-2 in his career in the CHL in his 31 games played. In the regular season, he was 14-8-2, 76 points, 37 goals, 39 assists with a plus 26 and 21 penalty minutes. 47 points. 4 on the faceoff, split between center and right wing. And then in the playoffs, 6-1 with 25 points, 15 goals, 10 assists, and a plus 10 with 10 penalty minutes and 48.5 on the draws. Seemed to really pick it up in the playoffs when the game started to matter.
Definitely. 24th overall coming in for Nashville is W.C. Rubin.
So W.C. Rubin was with the Cincinnati Cyclones last season. He went 9-0. With 38 points, 17 goals, 21 assists with a plus 30. And in the playoffs, he went 4-1 with 16 points, 4 goals, 12 apples, and a plus 6.
Yeah, no, and another guy who kind of signed up late here, and he was a big help to the Cyclones as they kind of picked up a few different guys like that. Him and Grossbeer, another guy name you can throw out there who just came in and seemed damn near unstoppable for the end of the season.
Yeah, they tore it up pretty hard.
Yeah, for sure. A little comment here by Turtle Tit. First time watching a draft, really cool. Thanks, guys, for the stream. Yeah, appreciate you, Boo.
Thanks for coming in.
And the boys in the shout box are calling for Sticky.
Sticky fingers, eh?
Coming in 25th overall is Delfan142 for the Anaheim Mighty Ducks.
My site glitched a little bit here, sent me all the way to the bottom of this draft.
Oh, that happens.
So Delfan, just a moment, with the Catarecas was 14-4-1, 14 points, 4 goals, 10 assists, a plus 17. In the playoffs, he went 3-1-1 with 7 points, 2 goals, 5 assists, and he was a plus 7.
Okay.
Yeah, really strong stats, and this is was the 6th first-round pick the Anaheim Ducks have.
Right, yeah, exactly. And here he comes, Sticky Fingers, coming in at 26th overall for the Edmonton Oilers.
Yeah, someone was checking the shout box, someone heard, and they were like, all right, let's do it. Yeah, and I believe the Edmonton Oilers picking him up. Defenseman for the Wheat Kings last season, had a really solid showing. In the regular season, he was 18-6 with 56 points as a D-man, which is nuts. 10 goals, 46 assists with a plus 61 and 22 penalty minutes. And in the playoffs, going all the way to the M finals and just not being able to finish against the Ice Dogs, going 6-3-1 with 17 points, 17 apples, a plus 13 and 2 pims.
27th overall is Vermette QC. Looks like Montreal is really sticking to them French guys in this draft.
Yeah, for sure.
So Vermette was with the Ottawa 67s last season. He went 16-8, 74 points, 30 goals, 44 assists, plus 35. In the playoffs, he went 2-0 with 8 points, 3 goals, and 5 assists, plus 3.
Perfect.
Yeah. I spent a bit of time with him. I believe I want to say he was on my World Junior squad with Sweden in season 8, after following season 8 playoffs kind of thing. And yeah, really solid player. Is there anyone on this board so far that's overly surprised you, Dreams, or is it all kind of standard at this point?
I mean, there's been a couple that I was surprised to see go sooner than they did. But I mean, good on them. Obviously, they impressed in the scout games, right?
Yeah.
I'm surprised to see so many defensemen go so early.
Yeah, that's one thing that's shocking me is a lot of defense going so early, where usually you see top-heavy forwards. But the game is lately based around building around defense. And the draft is starting to show that a little more and more each season.
Yeah, they're starting to compensate a little bit for the fact that you do need to build defensively, especially at that NHL level. I mean, at this point, pretty much every team is running a heavy trap, just the way 19 is set up, right? So having good defense is imperative to being able to do that.
Definitely. Philadelphia taking their sweet time with 40 seconds being on the clock before their timer goes away.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is gonna be dicey. I believe this is their first pick of the draft. It is, and they go with Goofy Indian.
Goofy Indian coming at 28th overall. Yeah.
And I believe played for the Spokane Chiefs. They have a few different guys that might end up going in this draft. But for him personally, in his regular season, he was 14-7 in 21 games played with 55 points, 21 goals, 34 assists, a plus 13 and 24 pims with a 58.2 on the faceoffs. In the playoffs, 1-3, 5 points, 3 goals, 2 assists, a -6, 4 pims, and 57.8 in the faceoff dot.
Coming in 29th overall for the New Jersey Devils is X Unreal 97 _.
Another French guy with only 3 games played. He was 1-1-1.
I was gonna say I did not recognize that name in the slightest, and I paid pretty good attention to the members this season. So yeah, he kind of snuck in there a little bit, I believe.
Yeah, so he's a defenseman, another defenseman. Yeah, no points, 1-1-1 +1.
Yeah. Just gonna throw out there, that little loss to the Wings, whatever. It's cool. I had 33% of his losses. It's fine.
Right.
And yeah, you're always curious to see these guys who sign up late and are kind of unknown, don't prove themselves too much in the season of their draft, but it goes to show that they do know some people. They've scouted with some guys, and were able to show they've got the skill to come up.
Definitely. 30th overall coming in is Mike Swick for the Colorado Avalanche.
Yeah, and interesting because I believe brother of CCM 2K and Noah Swick. Now, Mike, I don't know if you remember. I certainly don't. What organization Noah Swick took this season with the AHL, but his brother getting drafted by the Colorado system, 19-4-1 with 66 points, 40 goals, 26 assists with a plus 66 with 24 pims. And in the playoffs, 5-4-1 going all the way to the finals, 18 points, 9 goals, 9 assists, a plus 11 with 11 penalty minutes.
31st overall for the Montreal Canadiens is Goodfella 1489, and 32nd overall for the Chicago Blackhawks is Kenny the Tank.
Yeah, and so closing out the first round is Goodfella 1489 here. I'm gonna pull up his stats here, and then I'll get
went
Go ahead.
12 8 and 4, 21 points, 1 goal, 20 assists. He was a plus 22, and in the playoffs he went an astounding 7-0-2 with 12 points, 1 goal, 11 apples, and he was a plus 8 for the Huskies this season.
Yeah, on that big surprise run to the MEM semifinals, facing off against the eventual Cup winners in the Niagara Ice Dogs. And Kennedy Tank, a center for, I believe he was with Idaho for most of the season and was traded near the end of the season, but went 14 and 9 with 61 points, 29 goals, 32 assists, and a plus 8 with 25 PIMs. And in the playoffs was 4 and 1, 11 points, 6 goals, 5 assists, a plus 6, and 6 penalty minutes.
Coming in 33rd overall is Nicola Rocks.
Nick
Nick
Ehlers.
Ehlers. Nick Ehlers. Okay, Nick Ehlers rocks for the Carolina Hurricanes.
Yeah, so during his regular season, he went 12-4-1 with 72 points, 33 goals, 39 assists. He was a plus 31. He went 0-1 in the playoffs with 2 points, 1 goal, and an assist. So pretty solid forward right there.
Yeah, for sure. Coming in number 34, we got Butt_Fisted. And honestly, one of my favorite player names. I'm not going to lie. Sorry, just pulling up his stats now. My computer is not loving me right now. Open and closing all the Chrome. He in the regular season went 19-4-1 with 28 points, 6 goals, 22 assists, playing right D, plus 32 and 14 PIMs, and in the playoffs was 2-1-1 with 2 points, both of which were apples, at -2 and 2 penalty minutes. So really solid showing for him. And man, the amount of defensemen going this year is nuts. I think
insane,
they might outnumber the forwards, but I have not been.
So far, it has, I think. 25th overall for the Devils is delightful dabs.
So a man from my home state, Pennsylvania, played for the Barrie Colts with a record of 3-3, 5 points, 1 goal, 4 assists. I believe he plays right defense, and he was a -13, so that's an odd choice.
Yeah, I mean, again, no shade meant, but the Barrie Colts not the strongest regular season team. So it's kind of an interesting choice, but again, we see with those guys with those limited sample sizes, right?
Definitely.
And coming in with our next pick is
great pick there.
Yeah, and that was one I was expecting to go in the first round. Is Grossbeer, another late sign-up, ended up playing 6 games in the regular season, 5-0-1 with 23 points for the Cincinnati Cyclones on the left wing, 14 goals, 9 assists with a +7 and 4 penalty minutes. And in the playoffs, he was 3-2-0 with 22 points in 5 games, 15 goals, 7 assists, and a +7, 13 penalty minutes. So obviously really strong, just not playing the full season down there. And there it is, the man they were calling for, the Duke Star. Our first goalie off the board here, and 37th overall pick for the Carolina Hurricanes organization.
Yeah, and he played for the Niagara Ice Dogs this season. He had a stunning 32-4 record and a really amazing 10-2 record in the playoffs. He posted a 91.3 save percentage during the regular season, 81.6 during the playoffs.
Yeah, the real telling stat was here, the .97 goals against in 36 games.
Yeah. I believe what was it, under a goal for the season for him?
Yeah, .97. Yeah.
That's just phenomenal.
Under a goals against average is absolutely unheard of. Obviously on a really strong season, though.
Definitely.
Can't be mad at my Hurricanes for picking up a stellar goalie.
Yeah, for sure. Coming in number 38, we got another Spokane Chief, I believe, and another prospect game alum here. Ripley, 52.
Yes, coming in there. I think he was a Chief too. I think you're right.
Yep.
Another great pick though.
Yeah, for them going 16-6-2 with 61 points, 20 goals, 41 assists, a +28, 14 PIMs, and in the playoffs, unfortunately, didn't go too far, but went 1-2 with 4 points, 1 goal, 3 assists, and a -6.
A lot of my boys going in the draft today.
Yeah, for sure. The WHL definitely being represented today.
Coming in 39th overall for Carolina is X Jonesy 3.
Yeah, so X Jonesy's 3 played in season 7, and it looks like he took a break for 2 seasons, came back for season 10 late. So he's got limited stats. His overall, he was 13-5-1, 37 points, 12 goals, 25 assists. He was a plus 20.
Yeah, and I imagine he probably played forward in season 7, going defense this season. If he didn't, that's a really impressive stat line as a D-man. 9 games played and 23 points.
He played defense this season.
This season, yeah, I'm saying season 7. Yeah. If that was the case, I mean, maybe he did, but
no, he played center.
yeah, he played center. 7. Thank God. I was like, that's a terrifying D-man otherwise.
Right, definitely. 40th overall for the Edmonton Oilers again is Random Dud. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, I believe playing.
Count.
Yeah, I believe. Oh, this season, I want to say he was on Greenville or the Solar Bears. It was the Solar Bears. Yep. 15, 3 and 4, 63 points, 26 goals, 37 assists, and a plus 20 on maybe not the strongest team, but 52.8 on the faceoffs, and in the playoffs, only able to play 1 game. But put up 2 points with a -1, 4 PIMs, and 38.5 on the draws.
Very good season.
Yeah, and a solid player on not the strongest of teams, but made the best of it and showed up pretty well.
For sure.
We got Carolina mulling over their next pick, having to make 3 in pretty quick succession here.
Yeah, Carolina's had a ton of picks so far.
Yeah, I think the only one having more is Anaheim. They seem to have a pick like every 5th one. It's insane. It starts to slow down for them a little bit, as you can see over the next little bit. But yeah, in the early first and early second, they've had quite a few. All right, wow, 3 picks in quick succession. I don't know if my site's just being slow, or you guys are really quick with these picks. But we're gonna go through the next 3 here. Coming in 41st overall for the Carolina Hurricanes is Yessi__. I believe playing this season for the Fuel in the ECHL, representing. 15, 5 and 4 with 80 points, 33 goals, 47 assists, and a plus 19, 18 penalty minutes, and 51.4 on the draws. And in the playoffs, going 3 and 1 with 7 points, 3 goals, 4 assists, -5, 8 PIMs, and 46.8 on the draws. Do you want to take us over to Sabasgod for us there, Mike?
Yeah. So Sabasgod was with Cincinnati. He went 16-5-1 during the regular season. He as a right defenseman. 20 points, 1 goal, 19 assists, a plus 26. And in the playoffs, he went 3 and 2 with 4 points, 1 goal, and 3 apples. He's a puck-moving defenseman who doesn't turn the puck over a whole lot.
No, and he was a nightmare to play against. I can tell you that much. Having played him all season long, it was not fun.
Coming in 43rd overall, you have Stoner 3.0.
Yep, and playing for the Everett Silvertips there, and wildly misread that. The Charlottetown Islanders, 9 and 6, 41 points in 15 games, 23 goals, 18 assists, and a -4 with only 4 penalty minutes and 55.4 on the draws, playing a mixed bag of center, right wing, and left wing. And in the playoffs, going 0 and 2 with 3 points and -4 and no PIMs.
Definitely. And 44th overall. So, Stoner went to Tampa Bay, by the way. I missed that.
Yeah.
44th overall for Edmonton is Heart Attack.
Look at this. Another WHL prospect guy that played for me during the prospect game.
Another Spokane Chief, yeah.
Yeah, he's played for the Spokane Chiefs. He was 16, 6 and 2 with 62 points, 39 goals, 23 assists, plus 28. And in the playoffs, he went 1 and 2 with 6 points, 2 goals, 4 assists.
Yep. Yeah, really impressive showing, and part of that Spokane Chiefs lineup that we were all kind of expecting to see go drafted, and I think we've seen, 3 of them now?
Yeah, definitely. 3 have gone. So good on them,
Yeah, for sure. Coming in 45th overall to the Carolina Hurricanes is the D. I'm just going to skip the 18 dashes he uses, guys. Why do I keep clicking World Juniors? All right. In the regular season there for season 10, he played for the Kamloops Blazers, going 15, 6 and 2 with 21 points, 1 goal, 20 assists, and a plus 14 as a lefty with 18 penalty minutes. And in the playoffs, going 0 and 2, unfortunately not getting too far there with 1 point and -3.
Still a good outstanding season for himself.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of rumbling around him this season, from what I understood.
Yeah, there was on and off.
I believe our next goalie coming up here, I believe he played, I want to say for the Everett
He did,
Silvertips.
and it's Max Attack 21-19 going to the Colorado Avalanche.
Yeah, 29 4 and 1 record, 88.5 save percentage, and a 149 goals against in the regular season, and in the playoffs 10-1 and 1, bowing out to the Brandon Wheat Kings, putting up a stellar 87.8 with a 1.8 goals against, so almost mirroring his stat line from the regular season, even in those tougher playoff games.
47th overall coming in for the San Jose Sharks, Heinze 20.
Yeah, I believe we're seeing our first Steelhead come off the board.
Yeah, so Heinze 20 was 16-6-2 for the Steelheads this season with 81 points, 36 goals, 45 assists, plus 39. And in the playoffs, he went 4-3-2, 18 points, 5 goals, 13 assists, and he was a +3. He's played just in season 10, so just his first season last season.
Okay. I believe he came from the Facebook League to start with.
I believe so. I'd known his name prior to the season starting. Oh, Dreams, did you turn off your camera?
Yeah, I did for now.
Okay. Let me know if
Just
you're gonna do that because that shows my my Discord messages.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, I'll turn you off if you need to be turned off.
Speaking of Idaho, we have Shoots and Scores coming next at 48 for the Carolina Hurricanes.
Yep. And he playing this season for the Steelheads, and not a surprising pick here as another Steelhead coming up here. 19-4 and 1 with 73 points, 46 goals, 27 assists, and a +45 with 8 penalty minutes on the left wing, playing alongside Heinze. And in the playoffs was 7-1 with 22 points, 11 goals, 11 assists, and a +17.
Yeah, he had a strong season. I mean, that whole top line for them was hard to play against. Definitely made a difference maker for them in the playoffs.
Definitely. And Edmonton taking their time on this next one. Sort of strange. I mean,
Papa back 19 though.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, sorry, Conlop.
Yeah, Conlop coming out here with their next pick, and I believe our first Tulsa Oiler.
It is.
Another one of those VG guys that I slept on a bit this season, so congrats to TFPM for letting this one slip right by me. But yeah, winning Rookie of the Year and showing up really strong for a strong Oilers team as he went 18-4 and 2 with 84 points, 36 goals, 48 assists, a +58 and 18 penalty minutes. In the playoffs, 3-0 and 2, 21 points, 11 goals, 10 assists, a +13 with 2 PIMs. So really strong season, and not a huge surprise to see him getting drafted.
Definitely not. And it's a 50 overall for Winnipeg is Papa back 19.
Yeah, Papa back 19 was Peterborough Pete. He went 6-3 and 1 in the regular season with 9 points. Another defenseman, 9 apples. Looks like he plays both sides. But during the playoffs, he went 3-1 and 1 with 3 points, 3 apples, and a +2.
Yeah, okay. 51st overall is the Chicago Blackhawks. King Flips.
Yeah, I'm pulling up his stats right now. I'm not too sure who he played for.
Me either.
This season.
Going off by that one.
He was the Sudbury Wolves. So during the regular season was 8-16 with 31 points, 17 goals, 14 assists, and -29 and 14 PIMs. Nothing jumping off the page suggesting to me that this guy's really solid. I mean, obviously I'm missing something here. Someone knows this guy. Not a strong team in the Wolves, but he did not also have a very strong season.
I mean, I think the Wolves kind of had a struggling season, but
they did. I believe missing the playoffs in its entirety. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm not too sure. I won't touch that one too much. But congrats to him to the Chicago Wolves.
All right, Dark, I'm coming back on camera now, buddy.
You're back on camera?
No, yeah.
Okay. There we go.
And the Rangers taking the time for the 52nd pick.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we do have a little bit of lag with the site, so we'll, 3 picks in a row will kind of come on as everyone is watching the draft. Yeah, so we'll patiently wait. But yeah, seeing a lot of D-men drafted over forwards. We've only seen 2 goalies go so far, nearing the end of the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, definitely. And that clock is under a minute now. 40 seconds remaining on the Rangers clock.
Yeah, You look, the Carolina Hurricanes have had 9 picks so far within the first 51. That's insane.
I think Anaheim's pretty close to the same, are they not?
I'll have to research that.
Okay, will you do that quickly? 52nd overall is Snipe City 13 for the Rangers, and 53rd overall, I'm not going to try saying the name.
VLZKZFLP. Yeah, this guy's nightmare.
Yeah.
This guy's name's always been a nightmare for me. I dread whenever he pops up on the site, but obviously a really strong, solid season.
Definitely.
Yeah, so the Anaheim Ducks have had 7 picks so far.
Okay. Do you have any stats on Snipe City and VLZ?
Yeah, so Snipes coming in here with a 14-5 record, 53 points in regular season as a right winger, 24 points, 24 goals, 29 assists, a +9 and 8 penalty minutes. So very disciplined there. And in the playoffs, 2-1, 6 points, 2 goals, 4 assists, and a -1 for the Guelph Storm last season.
Coming 54th overall for Edmonton is iNoodle, and 55 overall is Mr. Lochicho, 13 for Buffalo.
Yeah, so flipping back a little bit to VLZKZFLP. Yeah, I nailed that one. I'm not even gonna lie. 19-5 with the regular season for the Spirit there. 82 points, 46 goals, 36 assists, a +42, 18 penalty minutes. And in the playoffs, 2-1-1, 9 points, 6 goals, 3 assists, and a +1.
Jumping again quickly in your buddy. 56 overall to the Canadiens is Bake River Otter. A goalie I thought would go a little higher than 56, but at least he's here now.
Yeah, but this season we were fortunate to have a litany of talented goalies come in.
We were, yeah.
So Mike, do you want to take us through iNoodles' stats?
Moving on to iNoodle, Tulsa Oiler had a regular season of 16-5-2 as a center, or center or left wing for that matter. Was 58 points, 20 goals, 38 assists, +31. In the playoffs, he went 5-1, 18 points, 10 goals, 8 assists, and a +9.
Yeah, a really strong season. Changing his name from Noodle Boy to iNoodle.
Yes, definitely. And from Mr. Lochicho.
Yeah, I'll go through him real quick here as I load up his stat page. Getting drafted by the Buffalo Sabres. Signed up as a lefty, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, signing up for season 11 as a lefty, but played last season as a center, going 17-2-2 with 81 points, 26 goals, 55 assists, a +56, and 26 penalty minutes as a center there with a 51.6 on the draws. And season 10, playoffs, Jesus, 1-2-2, 14 points, 5 goals, 9 assists, a +3, and 2 penalty minutes with a 57.2 on the draws.
One more pick came in while you're doing that. 57th overall for the Avalanche is Bad Brad Guy 5.
Yeah, so Mike, do you want to run us through Baked before we run to that?
Yeah, so Bake's been around since season 4, but he hasn't really played a lot. His first full season was in season 10 with the Wheat Kings. Mm-hmm. He went 37-3 that season. And then in the playoffs, he posted a stellar 11-5-3 as the goalie.
Yeah, doing a great job for himself. 58th overall, as we move along here quickly, is the gray UNP for the Winnipeg Jets.
Yep. Pulling up.
But let's jump back to Brad Guy.
Yep. Sorry, give me 1 second here.
That's fine. 59th overall for the Vancouver is Kil Kohan as well, coming in for him.
Kilo Khan, yeah. So Brad Guy, 85 here, playing for the Stingrays last season, going 8-1-1 with 38 points, 10 goals, 28 assists, and a -26. And in the playoffs, going 0-1 with 1 point.
And then the Gray UNP, another Frenchie, his regular season, he had a 17-7 with 72 points, 38 goals, 33 assists, a +2 though. And then in the playoffs, he was a 1-3 with 7.6 goals, 1 assist, and he was a -2.
Okay. And 60th overall again for Vancouver is the Super Bong Bros. Another defender.
Looking back at Kilo Khan, back-to-back picks here for the Vancouver Canucks, picking up a forward and a D-man here. Kilo Khan, another one of those Spokane Chiefs, I believe.
I believe so.
Yes, he was, and played for that prospect team, going 16-6-2 with 68 points, 24 goals, 44 assists with a +28, 19 PIMs, and in the playoffs going 1-2 with 6 points, 4 goals, 2 assists, and 8 PIMs.
And what do you got for the Super Bong Bros there, Mike?
So Super Bros played for Bakehomo Jakar this season. He went 17-4-2 as a left defenseman. He was 31 points, 8 goals, 23 assists. He was a plus 60. In the playoffs, he went 4-1 with 4 points, 4 apples, and he was a plus 9.
All right, perfect. 61st overall to Minnesota is XT John. Sorry to cut you off, Mike, but let's go back to you.
His takeaway was a minus 28 for the whole season. That was crazy.
That's
yeah,
crazy.
That is absolutely nuts. As a D-man, and yeah, for sure. An X_T John, I believe, formerly known as Xenomorph, coming in here in the draft. Not too surprised, taking on a GM role in the CHL, so I think it's meta hurt his stock a little bit, but in Season 10, going 18-6 with 68 points, 35 goals, 33 assists, and a plus 17 with 6 PIMs. And in the playoffs, 0-1-1 with 3 points, 1 goal, 2 assists.
62nd overall for Edmonton is Showtime 2499. As well as 63rd is O Nitrate, another goaltender for the Chicago Blackhawks.
Yeah, another really solid tendy coming in. But looking at Showtime, I believe this is yet another Steelhead.
I believe it is.
Showtime was a Steelhead. He went 18-4-1 with the regular season with 18 points, 1 goal, 17 assists from the right D position. He was a plus 26. And in the playoffs, he went 6-1-1 with 4 apples, plus 9.
Yeah, impressive showing for him. And looking at O Nitrate, goalie for the Ottawa 67s this season, made the All-Star team, going 24-19-4 with not the strongest of teams, but posting an 86.7 on 835 shots with a 2.33 goals against, and in the playoffs going 2-2 with an 89% save percentage and a 2.5 goals against average. So no big shock to see him get drafted.
Definitely not. Again, a couple of goaltenders have come out. I figured a couple go higher than they did, but
yeah,
still
for sure.
Out there.
Yeah, but you know what? The goalies that have come out so far seem to be in proper order. I mean, they're all really talented goalies. I've not been surprised by any of them getting drafted.
No, me either. 64th overall is Gods3_3 plan for the Minnesota.
Yeah, and spending last season with the Volts, going 9-4 with 28 points, 14 goals, 14 assists. Looks to play center and left wing primarily. Put up a +3 and 16 penalty minutes, and in the playoffs, only playing one game and going 0-1 with 1 goal, a -2, and 4 penalty minutes.
Yeah. A very strong player. I think he came in late to the league as well. Don't quote me, but I think he signed up late.
I believe so. Yeah, we see these guys come in who sign up a little bit late, whether it be through Facebook or VG or whatever, and you know, kind of get randomly aside, and the few people who do know them pick them up and go, oh yeah, this is a steal.
This is a steal, right? Exactly.
Yeah, and the NHL guys hoping to kind of get the same viewpoint on it as getting them as steals with limited stats showing.
Exactly. Chicago's up next at 65. Curious to see they pick out here.
Yeah, and it comes in here with Epic Killers. I believe.
Solid pick.
Yeah, I believe he was a Thunder originally. Ended up going to Edmonton Oil Kings, if I'm not mistaken.
That's possible. I believe he got bounced around a bit. Eventually, we end up getting him from Mississauga.
Oh, okay. Regular season, he was 13-5-4, 49 points, 28 goals, 21 assists with a +14 and 23 penalty minutes. And in the playoffs, 4-4 with 16 points, 6 goals, 10 assists, and a -2 with 4 PIMs.
Now, interesting fact about him is, from my understanding from talking to him recently, he was planning on going D this year.
Oh, okay. That's
so
interesting.
I'm not sure if these guys are aware of that, if he even did it in the end, but that was the last thing I heard.
Yeah, when we saw a pick earlier, one of the Oilers guys who originally was a center switching to D. And speaking of the Oilers, Demota88 coming in here at the 66th overall.
Yeah, I think he was an Oiler.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, that's why I said that.
So that's a good pick for him in oil country.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Demota88 coming in from the Tulsa Oilers with a regular season record of 17-4-2, 80 points. 37 goals, 43 apples, +31. And in the playoffs, he went 3-2-1, 19 points, 10 goals, 9 assists, and a +2. It's crazy to see how in 6 games you can put up 19 points and only be a +2. That's absolutely insanity.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. Um, that is quite impressive.
68 overall is Ditka Butkus for the Carolina Hurricanes.
Yeah, another
And
CH.
67th, sorry, I skipped one. 67th as well was GP3
Oh yeah,
for
we
the
did. I
Knights.
completely missed that. So we'll start with GP3 coming in here, and yeah, he did not play a lot this season. Posting a record in the regular season of 9-3, but in those 12 games, he put up 44 points, 28 goals, 16 assists with a plus 21 and 2 penalty minutes, 57.1 in the shooting in the regular season, by the way. And then in his limited playoffs, 2-1 with 7 points, 4 goals, 3 assists, and a -1.
Quick, another guy coming in for a pick at 69th overall for Anaheim is DR Snipes.
Yeah, but going back to Ditka Butkus for the Carolina Hurricanes, he came in with a regular season record of 20-2, but it's in his third season. He had 83 points this season, 35 goals, 48 assists. He was a plus 50.
Yeah.
And in the playoffs, he went 3-2-1, 15 points, 9 goals, 6 assists, and he was a -2.
For sure, I'm sure his draft stock being lower a little bit by the fact that he's taken a GM role on with it's your boy
That's probably
Blue
what
for the
hurt a little bit.
Stingrays. Yeah,
Yeah.
which I'm sure he's fine with, right?
Yep, exactly. 7th overall, by the way, for Minnesota is.
Yeah, we skipped one there with CR14 Snipes.
Yeah, we didn't talk about his stats, but he was mentioned about his pick.
Okay.
But
Yeah. So the Anaheim Ducks CR14 Snipes, the final in that line for the Idaho Steelheads of Shoots and Scores and Heinze playing the prospect tournament, losing out to Mike Naughty's WHL. All hail Mike Naughty. Season 10, regular season, 17-3-1, 59 points, 19 goals, 40 assists with a plus 39 and 22 penalty minutes, 60.3 on the shooting percentage, rather impressive. And
picks coming in fast and furious now.
Well. Yeah, I'm sure. Oh, sorry, that was his face-off percentage. My apologies. And in the playoffs, 8-1, 32 points, 14 goals, 18 assists with a plus 22. So good on him.
So the Minnesota Wild with the 70th pick Kush, and he was an Edmonton Oil King. He went 13-6-1, 54 points, 25 goals, 29 assists, plus 28. In the playoffs, he was 0-1-1 with 3 points, 1 goal, 2 assists. He was -3.
All right, 71st overall for the Vancouver Canucks is Miss Rogue. 72nd overall is Red Rocket 9. 70 Buffalo, and for 73rd overall for Buffalo as well is then Trick Jams.
Yeah, I mean, good for you guys getting those picks rapid fire. You knew who was up and ready to go in the next one. So, congrats. I mean, damn. Starting off with Miss Rogue. Showing very little stats on the site, so someone obviously knows this person. 0-1, no points. I don't know what to say about that. Red Rocket 9 coming in with a bit more stats, but not a crazy amount. Playing for the Spitfires last season, 9-8-1 the regular season, 34 points, 19 goals, 15 assists, a +4, and 14 PIMs. 0-1 in the one playoff game.
What do we have for them Trick Jams?
I'm getting there.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he's that 74th came up for San Jose at Tom Furlan 69.
Okay, cool. Then Trick Jams.
Yeah, so then Trick Jams from the Cincinnati Cyclones, limited playing ability or limited playing time as well. He went 6-1-1 during the regular season with 11 points, 11 apples. In the playoffs, he went 2-2 with 6 points and 6 apples. He was a +7 in the playoffs, +27 in the regular season. Only played season 9 and season 10, a total of 15 games.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right on.
And how about Tom Furlan there?
Yeah, so pulling up his stat line here, coming in 74th overall for the San Jose Sharks as we hit that midsection of the third round of the draft here. Playing last time he played was actually season 7 when he went 23-3-3 as a goalie with an 87.2 and a 1.4 goals against for the Charlottetown Islanders, who I believe, did they win the cup? I think they won the cup or went to the final at least that season. And in his playoff appearances was 14-3 with an 84.3 and a 1.56 goals against. So I don't want to say a strange pick, but a bit of a hidden pick. Maybe someone who hasn't noticed him because he hasn't been around for a few seasons.
Definitely. 57th overall is Midnight Fapper for St. Louis, and 76th overall is Medcalf 91.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good.
So Midnight Fapper, a goalie from looks like Moncton, went 27, 16, and 2
He was
as a
with the
goalie.
Tigers. Sorry.
Tigers, sorry. And then he went 2, 2, and 1 in the playoffs. Solid 85.5 during the regular season and 84.3 during the playoffs. Seen a lot of rubber though.
Yeah, 684 shots. Yeah, he was up there with O Nitrate. And looking in on the next pick, I believe it was 76th overall, is Metcalf 91 being drafted here. In the regular season, he was 11-11 with 54 points, 33 goals, 21 assists, and a -4 with 10 penalty minutes.
He came from the Sudbury Wolves, right?
Sudbury Wolves, yes. Correct. And getting drafted to the Philadelphia Flyers organization. And another one that's not too surprising, even as we get later in the rounds.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, funny you see the difference in certain teams pick really fast, and with that speed, and then you get that.
Some have their list ready to go and they're prepared. They aren't too worried, right? And it just happens the guys haven't gone, right?
Yeah, exactly.
77th overall is Jeff Sosta for the Chicago Blackhawks.
Yeah, and fairly limited experience this season, but did play for the Huskies. 7-0-2 as a left defenseman, 17 points, 1 goal, 16 assists with +8 and 0 PIMs. And so that was his playoff stats. Sorry, and in the regular season, it messes me up when your regular season less than your playoffs. 4-1-1, 6 points, 6 assists, +18 and 4 PIMs, and very low takeaway giveaway in both playoffs and regular season, with -26 in both sections.
Yeah, for sure.
You guys think it screws these guys up when they look at the draft list and you get the guys who aren't signed up yet?
It probably does, because you're always questioning: are they coming? Are they not coming? Are they going to sign up, or is it a wasted bid, right? Or wasted draft? Sorry.
Yeah, I believe that was done with J.R. Penn's coming into season 9. He was drafted and didn't end up playing, and I believe hasn't played since. But yeah, we're waiting on the Buffalo Sabres to make that 78th overall pick.
Yeah. I mean, they're being patient about it.
Kind of pose a little question while we're waiting here to the chat box down there. Who do you view as the best steal so far in this draft? Who do you think really got away with one a little bit later in these rounds?
I'm gonna have to go with probably Gross Beer is a heck of a steal.
Okay. Dusty coming out saying Perry Savage being a big steal, all caps, so you know he means it. Yeah, you can hit the caps lock button and it'll stop you from typing like that. I don't know if it's intentional, but and Jangle saying the biggest steals yet to come. We got Nate Sue, goalie for the Petes, coming in 78th overall to the Buffalo Sabres. Have been fortunate to play a few games with him, a really solid tendy. And this season he went 19-12-3 with a 85.3 save percentage and a 2.17 goals against. In the playoffs, 5-1-1 with an 89% save percentage and a 1.79 goals against. Congrats to him on making the Buffalo Sabres draft list.
Definitely.
I appreciate you. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce your name. I'm a Marvel fan, but I suck at pronouncing Thor's hammer name. If anyone can help me out here, that'd be great. But it's that _49. Thank you, Milner.
Speaking of Milner, guy I know, Milner played up until season 5. Coming back this season. Good luck to you, bro.
All right. We got a couple.
79th overall for Vancouver is Trudeau 1, and 80th overall is Gravello. Going to Vancouver was Trudeau, and 80th was to the Bay.
Yeah, Tetro won, I believe, another Idaho still, sorry, Oiler. Tulsa
I
Oiler.
believe so.
Yes, he was. And in the regular season was 12-2-1 with 56 points, 20 goals, 36 assists with a plus 30, and in the playoffs 13-2-1, 18 points, 5 goals, 13 assists with a plus 2. And our next pick, Gravello.
Yeah, he was Peterborough Pete this season. Season 9, he was with Drummondville Voltigers. But this season, he went 17-4-2 with 66 points, 30 goals, 36 assists. He was a plus 24. And in the playoffs, he went 2-2 with 6 points, 5 goals, 1 assist. And he was a -2.
Yeah, unfortunately bowing out to the Ice Dogs, much like a lot of those OHL teams did.
Yeah, for sure. Coming 81th overall is the Edmonton Oilers' Extreme Sabres fan 91.
Yeah, and another defenseman coming off the board, not surprising. I believe, I want to say Lethbridge Hurricane last season. I could be wrong. I'm right. Yay. 17-8-1 with 23 points, 0 goals, 23 assists, and a plus 30. And in the playoffs, 6-2, 2 points, 2 assists, plus 10, 8 pims. So good on you, buddy. Congrats on making the Edmonton Oilers out of the draft here.
Definitely. We're getting down to that bitter end.
Yeah, we still got a fair way to go. We're still in the third round.
Definitely do. We're over the halfway point for sure.
Yeah, but we're in the back third, we'll say, with 120 some odd picks, right?
My Discord is going crazy, boys.
It's going crazy.
Yeah, I bet, especially in that the Carolina Discord.
Yeah, it's absolute mayhem.
Yeah, I'm sure everyone's very excited, getting their big picks in.
Yep.
Question coming out of the box here. We got thoughts on X_T John getting drafted. I mean, it's always interesting whenever you see CHL management get drafted. It's an interesting choice. Their contract rolls over, so they kind of get that automatic next season of development without having to burn a year of that contract. So that's always a bonus. It's just if you need them to help out the AHL squad, they can't do it outside of their ECU games.
And I think that worked well for a lot of AHL teams this season, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, it's just different schools of thought, right? Whether you want to burn a year or not.
Coming in 82nd overall for Winnipeg Jets is Borno Fosrick.
Yep. And pulling up his stats now. Okay, so we got a left defenseman here. Hasn't played since season 7 until last season, where he went 16-8, 30 points, 2 goals, 28 assists, and a plus 28 with 13 pims. And in the playoffs, going 1-1-1 with 0 points. Losing out to the Lethbridge Hurricanes, who went pretty deep in their own right. Congrats to him, and congrats to the Winnipeg Jets picking him up. And I think that's a really, really smart choice by them to get him later on in the rounds, and it looks to be a really solid defenseman.
Definitely. So I'm just answering a few questions on Discord myself.
Yeah, to answer award winner 7, yeah, you can rewatch this after we archive all of our videos for 14 days on Twitch, and then it'll be uploaded to the League Gaming YouTube, where you can check it out. It'll also be posted on the LG website in those headline sections. So tons of places to check it out, tons of places to rewatch it. Thanks for tuning in. All right, we got a couple picks coming in real quick here. 83rd overall, we got Bunny Pancakes
for the Minnesota.
Yep. And
84th overall, we have Silly Shady. 85th overall is Blaze on Fire. And 86th overall is Big Truck 77.
Yeah, so some quick 4 picks coming in here. And yeah, we see Blaze the third in the Loops, Ludos, and Blaze lineup coming in, and getting picked quite a bit later than his fellow teammates. But we'll start with Bunny Pancakes here, who played last season as a center for Drakkar, going 17-5-1 with 68 points, 30 goals, 38 assists, and a plus 30, 30 penalty minutes, and in the playoffs, 3-3 with 11 points, 6 goals, 5 assists, and a -3.
The Capitals pick up Slyam Shady. Switching positions, he's going from LD to G, so I'm not certain that that the Capitals knew that, but a regular season record of 9-7-2, 14 points, 2 goals, 12 assists, a -4 at the lefty position. But he switched to goalie this season, so it's
Yeah, and
interesting.
he did actually ECU at the NHL level, this season as a goalie, putting up a 73.9 in the one game he did play. So maybe there was some information being spread around. Not too sure. But yeah, definitely an interesting one when you see guys
Definitely
change
true.
positions right before the
Definitely.
draft. And coming up next,
You
Blazers
guys
on
continue. I'll be
fire.
right back in 1 minute, guys.
Yep. Coming in next here, we got the Blazers on fire going to the Carolina Hurricanes. He was on my team last season, the Kalamazoo Wings, going 19-3-2, 55 points, 28 goals, 27 assists, and plus 25 with 32 PIMs. And in the playoffs, going 3-2 with 17 points, 5 goals, 12 assists, a plus 8, and 2 PIMs. So congrats to Blaze. Fun playing with you this season, and good luck with the Carolina Hurricanes organization.
Welcome, buddy. Nashville Predators pick up a lefty, Big Truck 77. Love the Steelers logo on your thing, bro, by the way. But his regular season record of a 12-8-2 at the lefty position with 15 points, 2 goals, 13 assists, a plus 7. In the playoffs, he won an astounding 2-0 with 1 point, 1 apple, and plus 4.
Yeah, actually, really impressive considering they were a first round exit, I believe, losing in 6. So he won both of their games. All right, and then we got Waldron coming in 87th overall for the Chicago Blackhawks, and Pac-Man 488 for the Vegas Golden Knights at the 88th overall pick. Looking at Waldron, who did actually play for the Prospects games for my side on the ECHL, playing with the Swamp Rabbits last season, 16-8 with 27 points as a lefty, 0 goals but 27 assists and a plus 22 and 8 PIMs, and in the playoffs 0-2 with 1 point, a negative 13. So a pretty solid pick in the rounds.
Coming in with the 88th pick, the Vegas Golden Knights pick up Pac-Man 488. Played season 8, season 9. This season with the Kansas City Royals, he was 14-3-1 with 57 points, 14 goals, 43 assists, plus 19. In the playoffs, he went 3-4 with 11 points, 5 goals, 6 assists. Looks like, he had a rough go in season 9, but really turned it around this season.
Yeah, and maybe just unfortunate where he played, or he figured something out, worked on his game. I'm not too sure, but either way, congrats to him on making it to being picked 88th overall by the Vegas Golden Knights. Coming in next, 89th overall is Shannon B9339 for the Ottawa Senators, 89th overall pick. And he's actually got a fair amount of games played, playing season 8 and 9, as well as season 10 for the Kansas City Mavericks, going 12-9-2 with 36 points as a center, 14 goals, 22 assists, with a -1 and 51.9 on the draws, and in the playoffs going 1-0-1 with 4 points, 1 goal, 3 assists, and a +2.
Coming in 90th overall is Dirty Dietrich for Buffalo. And 91 overall is Tampa Bay's Working Ricefield. 92 overall is Shaw Bros for Calgary. 93 overall is Easy Woods 20.
And there comes that rapid fire machine gun draft pick coming out of there.
Yeah, so Dirty Dietrich for the Buffalo Sabres last season, 17-4-3, 74 points, 35 goals, 39 assists, plus 34. In the playoffs, he went 3-1, 4 points, 2 goals, 2 assists, -5.
Yeah, playing for those Indy Fuel. Congrats to him. Working Ricefield coming up next, and someone who was talked about a lot this season, definitely at the CHL level, making the All-Star team and going 15-7-1 with 64 points, 29 goals, 35 assists, and a +24. And in the playoffs, going 1-1 with 5 points, 3 goals, 2 assists. So congrats to him playing for the Brampton Battalion last season, by the way.
Yes, that's right.
And do you want to run us down through Shaw Bros?
Yeah, so Shaw Bros drafted 92nd overall by the Calgary Flames. Had a really limited playing. He's been playing since season 6, but it looks like he's never played over 10 games in a season. I'm looking at
Xbox. Yeah, he's got some interesting stats because he's been all over the place, right? So obviously a well-known guy in the community.
His stats aren't anything. So really, I really don't know. He's got 42 games played with 15 points, and he's a -3.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. What about Easy Woods there for the Rangers at 93?
And another guy with very, very limited numbers, only playing 10 games throughout his career this season with the Moncton Wildcats, going 7-1-1 as a lefty for them, signing up late, getting 13 points, 2 goals, 11 assists, and a plus 13, and in the playoffs going 1-1 with 2 assists. So obviously one of those late guys there, and hopefully a steal for them.
Definitely.
All right, coming in 94th overall for the Vancouver Canucks, JJ83 Puck. 95th, for the Vancouver Canucks, and 95th for the Tampa Bay Lightning is JoJo Devil 91, and 96th overall for the Carolina Hurricanes is LeFrancois 99_QC. So we'll start with JJ80 Puck. If you want to kick that off for us there, Mike.
Yeah, I went with the wrong guy, so give me a second.
Oh no, then stay where you're at. I'll run with this guy. It's fine. 16-5 with the Bulldogs this past season. Been there his entire career, starting in season 8. So Farks knows this guy well. 63 points, 25 goals, 38 assists, a plus 13 and 12 penalty minutes, and in the playoffs going 3-1 with 8 points, 2 goals, 6 assists.
Yeah, and Francois 99 QC, another Frenchie, but only played one game in the CHL as a goalie.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot to say.
Yeah, for sure. And jumping back one pick, we got JoJo Devil 91, who again limited.
Did I miss him?
Yeah, sorry. And in limited time, playing with the Otters, getting a late call up, going 4-2 with 9 points in the regular season and 1-1 with 11 points in the playoffs. But noteworthy is he played 9 training camp games and had 35 points. So just kind of tearing it up against the TC. So obviously showing he's a bit above in terms of talent.
Definitely. Did we get the 96? Yeah, right?
Yeah, that was LeFrancois. Only played one game as a goalie. Limited numbers coming in for him. All right. Be right back. I'm just going to grab a quick glass of water.
Yeah, go for it, buddy. Did a long pause for Vancouver there, Mike. Just taking a sweet time, making sure the right choice coming in with 36 seconds to go on the clock.
I was taking a peek in my Discord. It's absolutely crazy.
Just crazy.
I bet. And Carolina's had a lot of picks coming into this, and good on them because they had a pretty deep run going to the 3rd round.
The Charlotte did. Carolina didn't make the playoffs. So.
Yes, sorry, I meant their organization. Yeah.
Yeah, Charlotte had a deep run. We faced the Americans in the Eastern Conference Finals. Unfortunately, we were unable to best the Americans, but
we got 97. Sorry, guys, cut you off.
Yep.
98 from Vancouver, 98th overall Cell Trace for the Carolina Hurricanes, and 99th overall for the Carolina Hurricanes is Petrie 13.
Back-to-back picks for them. Looking at Trudeau 28 here, not to confuse with the Canadian Prime Minister, but as in like the real dough. Coming in here, playing for the Brants Battalion last season, 15-5-1 as a center, 64 points, 36 goals, 28 assists, and a plus 28 with 20 PIMs, and in the playoffs, going 1-1 with 5 points, 2 goals, 3 assists. Congrats to him on being drafted this season.
And the Carolina Hurricanes with the 98th pick, Cell Trace, who's played 2 seasons, season 8 and season 10. In season 10, he played for Oceanic. He went 18-4-2 with 76 points, 30 goals, 46 assists. He was a plus 29. He had a stellar 4-0 record in the playoffs with 8 points, 3 goals, and 5 assists, and it was a plus 8.
Maybe one of the biggest steals based on his stats here and having played with him. He's a really, really solid player. So getting him that late can be a big boon for the Hurricanes organization.
Quickly going on before we go to Petrie there, we have a 100th pick coming in here for Ottawa is Stillusions. 101 for the Hurricanes again is Sooks 29. 102 for LA is Drupod. 103 for Chicago is McLovin. And 104 for Vegas is Swan Man.
Okay, well, yeah, we'll catch up with that in a second. Season 10 stats for right D Petrie 13, going 12-11 for the Hurricanes with 27 points, 2 goals, 25 assists, and a negative 12 with 22 PIMs. And the playoffs 2-3 with 1 point and 2 PIMs. Congrats to Petrie on getting drafted by the Carolina Hurricanes, maintaining that Hurricane tag across his name. Okay, let my screen catch up with me here, as we got about six picks here to catch up on. Everyone's kind of hammering them in near the end of this draft.
They are.
So
yeah, so I'll go with Stillusion.
Sure. St. Louis Illusion, sure.
Or yeah, whatever you say, bro. Still losing with the Wheeling Nailers last season.
Yeah.
Went 6-9 as a right winger. Posted 31 points, 15 goals, 16 assists. He was a minus 21. I know the Nailers weren't that good that season, but somebody must have seen something in this guy.
Yeah, for sure. And moving on to 629, a left defenseman there for the Kansas City Mavericks. I believe winning a defenseman of the year for the ECHL, going 16-4-1 with 21 points and at plus 29. Noteworthy is in the regular season, he only had a negative 64 takeaway giveaway despite putting up almost 30 points. And in the playoffs, going 2-1 with 4 points, 1 goal, 3 assists. This one I view as a big steal. Next on our list is Jewel Pod, and this is another interesting one because they kind of fell in that category of not having played a crazy amount of games. Sorry, they having had played a crazy amount of games since season 6, but just falling in that category where they got away with being drafted because they didn't quite have 48 coming into season 10. In the regular season, going 17-4-1 with 51 points, 29 goals, 22 assists, and a plus 25 with 32 PIMs. And in the playoffs, going 1-3 with 7 points, 5 goals, 2 assists. And noteworthy is I believe they signed up as a goalie for season 11. So an interesting switch. So hopefully the NHL team is aware of that.
Quickly here at 105, we have White Mike 112 for the Anaheim Ducks as well.
Yep, yeah, I got him pulled up. Who do you have up next, Mike? So I can kind of.
I have McLovin at 103 from the Chicago Blackhawks. Another ice dog getting traded or getting drafted. Sorry, getting traded. A center. He went 17-6-1 with 53 points, 20 goals, 33 assists, plus 24. 8-2 in the playoffs, 24 points, 11 goals, 13 assists. He was a plus 12. Dude wins faceoffs.
Yeah,
just saying.
He does. He
Right,
does.
Yeah.
Question in the show box: Where's the third voice coming from? He's actually my conscience. And he's who I live vicariously through. He made the AHL. I'm just a plug. No, that's Mike Naughty, the AHL media member, coming in and helping us out do the draft.
That's right. Doing a great job too.
Yeah, for sure.
Quickly coming in at 106 for Carolina is fuck right defense. 107 for Detroit is Reese Cups. 108 is Graham Scott for Columbus, and 109 is Killa 95 for the Philadelphia Flyers.
All right, so let's start off with Swamin. However the hell you pronounce it. Yeah, however you pronounce your name, buddy.
I call Swan Man.
Yeah, season 10, 17-5-2 with 58 points, 25 goals, 33 assists, and a plus 34, 4 penalty minutes. So solid showing for him, and in the playoffs, 1-1 with 4 points, 4 goals. Moving on to White Mike 112 as we try to catch up with this ever-growing list of draft picks nearing the end here. Getting into the hundreds. Season 10 playing for the Ottawa 67s, 16-5-2 with 15 points as a lefty/right D. 1 goal, 14 assists, and a plus 20 with 20 penalty minutes and only a negative 26 takeaway giveaway. And in the playoffs, going 1-1 with 1 point, 0 penalty minutes, and a negative 3 takeaway giveaway. Congrats to him for making the Anaheim Ducks organization. As I let my screen kind of stop crying because I've neglected it for so long, we'll look on to the next 6 picks here.
Yeah, so Carolina picks with the 106. It's Farquhar defense. There's a right D with the Oceanic this last season. Went 15-6-2, 14 points, 4 goals, 10 assists, plus 12. Only minus 58 on the takeaway giveaway. In our playoffs, he went 22-1 with 2 points and 2 assists. He was a plus 4.
Yeah, congrats to you, buddy, on making the Carolina organization. Mike Nutty can't wait to welcome you in.
Yeah, with the plethora of other D that you got.
Yeah, for sure. Right. And a surprising pick here is Reese Cups. Not tremendously well known after only playing a bit of this season, but I mean, going in the regular season, going 1-0 with 3 points, 1 goal, 2 assists, and in 2 games in the playoffs, having the exact same numbers: 3 points, 1 goal, 2 assists. Congrats to him. I played with him. Pretty solid player. Coming up next is my boy Graham Scott. Noted media member, doing write-ups for the WHL this past season. Played for me over the last 2 seasons, but this season going 15-6-3 with 28 points, 5 goals, 23 assists, and a plus 18 with 14 penalty minutes and only a negative 62 takeaway giveaway. And in his playoffs, going 3-1 with 4 points, 1 goal, 3 assists, and a plus 6. Congrats to Graham. I love you, little buddy. Good luck with the Columbus Blue Jackets organization.
So coming in next with the 109th pick was Killa 95. Killa,
Mhm.
picked by the Philadelphia Flyers. Boo. Anyway, goalie from the Huskies was 17, 15, and 5 this season. 88.2 save percentage, and in those games he faced 537 shots. So good on him. In the playoffs he went 8-3-2, posting an 85.9. So yeah, there you go.
Yeah, really strong on both of those goalies. Had a really good season for the Huskies.
Yeah, definitely.
Looking up next on our list, we got Essa_93 coming in here. Being drafted by the Coyotes. So I'm sure Mr. Sunshine's very excited to get him, even if he is at work. In season 10, playing with the Otters, 15, 6, and 2, 52 points, 31 goals, 21 assists with a +5, 14 penalty minutes. And in the playoffs, going 5 and 3 with 19 points, 11 goals, 8 assists, and a +11. So congrats to him on making the Arizona Coyotes.
Coming in at 111, we have Stealth Strike 67, 112 from Colorado. For 112 for Vancouver, we have Nestor, and 113 for Anaheim, we have Donello, 23.99.
Cool.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So Stealth Striker with the 111th pick. I love that number, by the way. To the Colorado Avalanche. He played with the Flyers this season. He went 13, 9, and 2. 43 points, 24 goals, 19 assists. He was a -12. In the playoffs, he went 3-1 with 4 apples. He was a +5 in the playoffs.
Yeah,
so good on him.
Yeah, congrats to him. Coming up after Stealth Striker, sort of like what Dreams is saying, we have Nestor in at 112 for the Vancouver Canucks, and sorry, I'll scroll my screen down. You guys can see a little better. And Donnell at 113. We also got 3 more picks coming in here at Len Puffs coming in 114 for the Ottawa Senators. And we got Good War 02 for the Edmonton Oilers at 115, and Maitland Mouse at 116 for the LA Kings. Let's get you guys caught up here, looking at the at Nestor, who actually has a fair amount of games played in the AHL, which is interesting little side note. But last season, I have no idea how this works, but Nestor was in the AHL last season in his entirety, going 18, 6, and 2 with 17 points, 2 goals, 15 assists, and a +26 with 2 PIMs. And the playoffs going 1 and 3. I have zero clue.
Yeah, I was curious at how that was a pick, but yeah.
I mean, fantastic pick, guy's a stud. He's just an AHL player. I don't know how that works. I'm sure the league will sort that out if there's any issues, and if not, congrats on drafting an AHL guy.
Moving on to the Anaheim Ducks, 113th pick is Donnell, 23.99. He was on the Utah Grizzlies this season, posting a 17, 5, and 2 with 58 points, 26 goals, 32 assists. He was a +26. 2-1 in the playoffs with 6 points, 3 goals, 3 assists. He's a right winger looking to make a name for himself. Yeah, late pick, maybe.
That's a bit of a steal. Yeah, I played him a lot this season, but I did not see Shawbro's NHL stats. Was it on the Xbox side? Because I think that might have bearing on it. I'm not too sure. Again, depending on how many games he played.
Right, exactly.
Season 10, we got Len Puffs coming in here, playing for the Swamp Rabbits, going 6, 7, and 2 with 19 points, 11 goals, 8 assists, and a -6, 24 penalty minutes. And unfortunately did not make the playoffs, or did not play any playoff games.
Right, exactly.
Good War 02, I have nothing on this guy.
So somebody just knew, obviously.
No stats was
sitting around.
Yeah, I think he signed up pretty much right as the season ended. So yeah, not too much to talk about there. Last but not least, we got Maitland Mouse, who spent season 10 on the Seattle Thunderbirds, who didn't have the strongest goal of it, but managed to put up an 8, 12, and 2 record with 12 points as a left defenseman with a -35 and 16 penalty minutes. I mean, hard to look at his stats and be impressed, but I mean, he also wasn't on a very strong team.
Definitely, yeah, for sure. Coming in 117 for Edmonton is Macy Doodle. 118 for the Rangers is Mike Hawks Flappin. And 119 for the Detroit Red Wings is Pronger 44X. And number 120 for Detroit is Billowy.
Oh, another one of my boys.
Yeah, so with 117, Edmonton Oilers pick up Macy Doodle. 1 game played. He's an 0-1. Nothing really to talk about, but maybe they've seen something we didn't. Coming in at 118, My cock's flopping. What a fucking name. Or excuse my language. What a name. Um, he played for the Gulf Storm. He was 15-7-2, 16 points, 1 goal, 15 assists. He was a plus 24. Went 1-1-1 in the playoffs, bro. Love the 1-1-1. He was a -2. Right defenseman. Primarily an offensive defenseman. Looks like.
Yeah, not a really common build you see, but he made it work, and congrats to him.
He did make it work.
New York
Two more picks coming in real quickly. 121 for Devils is Duster 101, and 122 is Xanderman 6.
Wait, wasn't Xanderman already a draft pick?
He might have got bought out. So
maybe.
Be eligible.
Yeah. Now looking at Detroit's draft pick is right D Pronger 44, and one of the few teams that the real Pronger did not actually play for in the NHL. In season 10 was 2-3 in the regular season, no points and a +2 with 8 PIMs as a right D, and in the playoffs going 3-1 with 5 points, 2 goals, 3 assists, and a +10 with 4 PIMs. Congrats to him on getting drafted by Detroit there. And we got last but not least on the guys we're catching up on is drafted with the 120th pick to the Detroit Red Wings is Billowy. My boy from the Kalamazoo Wings, this season going 17-4-2 for us, with an 87.8 in the regular season and a 1.38 goals against, and in the playoffs going 5-2 with an 84.3 and a dead even 2 goals against. So congrats to you, buddy. Good luck out there.
Go get it. Okay. Well, how for 121 for the Devils? Duster 101. What do you guys have on?
Duster's 101, drafted by the New Jersey Devils as a right wing. Played for the Saguenines this season, was 10-8-2, 60 points in 20 games. So that's 3 points a game, obviously. 35 goals, 25 assists, +6. He was 0-2 in the playoffs, but had 2 points, 1 goal, and 1 assist.
Yeah, congrats on him. And looking at Xanderman 6, who I am now really curious, if he was. Okay. I'm looking at his news page and all kind of confused, so I'm going to leave it alone. Playing last season on the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins as a draft pick. Don't know if he was bought out. No idea. I'm not going to touch it. 14-5-1, 16 points, 2 goals, 14 assists with a +17, 9 PIMs. And in the playoffs, 4-1 with 6 points, 6 assists, and a +8, getting bounced out by Mike Nutty's Charlotte Checkers there in the second round.
What?
And our last 2 picks coming in here, we got Matt Snow for the Anaheim Ducks.
And A. Gibby as well for the Ducks.
Yeah, I really wish this site would do that to me. It maybe. There we go. All right.
So Matt Snow went 10-14 as a center. 46 points, 23 apples, 23 goals. -16. 1-2 in the playoffs, 6 points, 3 goals, 3 assists, -11. Somebody's got to be seeing something I'm not.
Yeah, that's about the size of it. And looking at A. Gibby,
Mr. Irrelevant.
playing this season with the Cape Breton Screaming Eagles, going 15-3-5 with 20 points, 5 goals, 15 assists, and a +23 with 22 penalty minutes. And in the playoffs, posting a 2-1-1 record, 5 points, a -1, getting bounced out by those Huskies. Yeah, and comments coming out from Yagmir, also known as Mol, blah, 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 however you pronounce that name. Yeah, Yagmir coming out here, giving big congrats to my Kalamazoo guys. I imagine his organization, I think they picked up a couple of them, so congrats on him. And Graham Scott coming in there, thanks for coming out, guys, and congrats to Billy and Graham for making it, and obviously the rest of the entire draft list for making this draft, and good luck going into season 11.
Yeah, myself too, personally, I want to say, congrats to Ludo Boss and to Pima Flav. Go out there and rock it, boys.
Yeah, for sure. Anyone you want to shout out before we hop off there, Mike?
No, not at
all. Man said you can go screw yourself. Yeah, no, in all seriousness, thanks for coming out, guys, and best of luck to all these guys who got drafted. And thanks for everyone for tuning in. We will catch you next time, which for us, being me and Dreams, will be the CHL pre-bid show.
Yeah, and catch the AHL pre-bid show the day before or day of the bidding, and then every day of bidding thereafter.
Yeah, they're going to do a daily update on the bidding, so that should be exciting. Awesome. So make sure you tune in. Yeah, thanks so much for everyone for tuning in, and I'll catch you next time.
Have a great night.